guys, welcome back to Coach's Corner. As promised, we're going to be talking about swim cadence this week. We've covered our run cadence, we've covered our bike cadence. Now, what should we be doing with our turnover in the water? And just as frustrating as with the other two, it's going to be individualized per person, per stroke. And the reason being is because some swimmers are going to be more upper body dominant when it comes to generating power, and some are going to be more lower body dominant when generating power. So it's important to understand who you are as a swimmer, especially with the freestyle stroke, and then go from there when you're trying to reach optimal cadences. So if we're talking somebody who is lower body dominant when they're swimming freestyle, meaning they generate a lot of the power from their hips through that rotation with their kick from side to side, these individuals are going to have a much lower turnover rate, so a much lower cadence in the water than somebody who's upper body dominant. And it makes sense conceptually, right? So if we're going to be generating more power with our upper body, then we want to be able to take more strokes so that we can really utilize that power generation when we're out there in the water. Okay, when I say lower cadence and upper cadence, typically that flipping point is around 75, 80 strokes per minute. So anything under that is going to be somebody that typically, if they're swimming optimally, is hip dominant for that power. Anything over that 75, 80 range per minute is going to be upper body dominant. But it's important to use a pole kick propulsion test as well as a swimming golf test, which we've covered in an earlier Coach's Corner, to make sure that we know if we're even swimming efficiently using whatever power source we are in the first place. Now, it's a good idea to know how many strokes it takes you to go just at an easy length as well as when you're swimming hard, so that we can make sure there's some consistency and we can start to develop drills to improve either one. Okay? When we look at developing that power through each stroke, the actual catch phase through the pull phase, so where we're generating that power, that propulsion for every stroke, it only takes about 30% of the time of one cycle of the stroke. That means that 70% of the time, our arm is really just creating drag. It's not helping us propel ourselves forward. It's really just keeping us in one spot. And so it's important that we really optimize that 30% of the stroke where we are generating that power. Now, if we're spinning our wheels or spinning our arms too quickly, it's much like when you have a car that's stuck in ice or stuck in a snowbank and the tires are just spinning, but you're not actually going anywhere. And the same thing happens in the water. So if you do a fist swimming drill and you try to get your stroke down and you feel like you're just spinning and you're not going anywhere, that's indication that your catch phase may be lacking and you may need to improve the power generation of your upper body through that catch and through that pull and follow through. Okay. And on the flip side, if we're taking too long with every stroke and we're gliding for extended periods of time, we're almost applying like a braking mechanism to every stroke, right? So we've lost that momentum, we've lost that propulsion, and we're basically swimming less efficiently if we're just gliding extended periods on every stroke. So it's also important that we're not doing that flip side. Typically you see that the most, that extended glide, when we're breathing, right? So somebody who may feel like they're having a hard time getting a quick breath right before they rotate into that breath, and so they stay on their side for a long period of time. General rule of thumb, your arm should constantly be moving with a subtle glide at the end of every stroke, making sure we're getting to that full lengthening, and that should be sufficient. But again, use that pole kick propulsion test, use that swimming golf test to really find where that optimal stroke count is at, and then you can take a look at, okay, what should my cadence be at that stroke count per length to improve my speed and improve my power over that length or multiple lengths. Okay, one of the ways you can do this is by doing quick turnover exercises. So doing, 5 to 10 strokes as fast as you possibly can, just spinning your wheels coming off the wall and then going back into your normal cadence. You can also do extended reach or extended finish freestyle drills that really work on that extension and that full rotation before you start your catchphrase. catch phase, I'm sorry, on the flip side. So two kind of good drills that you can use to either slow down your cadence or speed your cadence up. But remember, this is individualized, so don't compare yourselves to other people. Make sure you're finding the cadence that's optimal for you. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next week right here at Coach's Corner.